I had a plan, I had a vision, and nobody can understand your vision. Like, your vision and your dream is yours alone to understand. All right, I'm gonna get comfortable here. All right, so hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is LeboneM. I am a former au pair, now international student in the US, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome. I hope you like it over here. Okay, so today I wanted to make a sit-down video and talk about my journey in becoming an international student. Yeah, I just wanted to put it out there, and yeah, let's talk. I feel like I don't want to make it too long, but I want to keep it short and brief, but at the same time want to share as much as I can. I'm a kind of individual that I don't share too much of my information until an actual, like, something has happened. You know, I don't want to share anything prematurely and then like it doesn't happen. Like, when I share something, I know that no one is going to deter that from happening, because that is mine, or whatever I'm pursuing is mine already, and I believe that it's going to happen. In terms of studying here, I was not so sure because there were so many obstacles. When I tell you guys, I did not believe it was actually going to happen, because I had obstacle after an obstacle after an obstacle, and I don't know if it's because I just believe in this dream of studying here and I just kept fighting for it, or I don't know exactly why it ended up working out. Maybe the Lord, I'm just the Lord's favorite child. Grab a drink, food, snacks, whatever. We are going to chat, okay? I'm gonna get comfortable too. I have my water. All right, I've got my water. Sometimes I forget to code switch. I'll be code switching back and forth. I'm going to start first before even I joined the au pair program. So before I joined the au pair program, I knew that I wanted to study in the US or live in the US somehow, because when I was 14, I came to the US on a visitor's visa to like a modeling convention. I used to be part of an agency. So I came to the US when I was 14, came here for like 2 weeks, explored New York, and then the rest of the week we were just modeling every single day, trying to book an agency. So I knew after that experience that I wanted to return to the US because I had such a great time. And I did get booked with an agency. However, my grandmother felt like it was way more important to focus on school first and then indulge in those dreams later. If we were gonna book with this agency, I was gonna move to LA, and it was an acting agency instead of a modeling agency. So she didn't want to pack up and leave her life because she's already a nurse in South Africa. She's already established, got, you know, all of these things. So starting over as a grandmother somewhere else, that's just something she was not willing to do. And I felt like I ain't got nothing to lose. You know, I don't have nobody here. I ain't got no kids, no husband. I'm 14 years old, so let's just pack up and go. But anyways, that didn't work out, which is fine. So when I learned of the au pair program when I was 16, which is 2 years later, I knew I wanted to do it, and I knew this was my chance of going for it. So I started prepping everything. I did everything that I needed to do. I started when I was 16, when I was in grade 10, and by the time I graduated or matriculated, I was ready to go and pack up my bags and go. But that idea of studying in the US has always been in the back of my mind, because education is important in my family. So it was either I was going to study back home or study in the US, but I knew I had to study somewhere or another. Fast forward, after my au pair year, I worked really hard in my last year of au pairing. I was studying for ACTs, applying, just trying to get acclimated to whatever I needed to do to be a suitable candidate or applicant. So that worked out fine, got accepted into universities, got a bunch of scholarships, but the scholarships weren't enough. They were like half, and I'm like, I need a full ride, okay? So to the universities though. So I was like, okay, well, at this point, the only option is for me to attend community college because it's way cheaper than a university. And you know, I've saved up a couple of dollars here, and you know, my family, we could all just jump in together and kind of make it work. So that was the idea. And then I went to Spain. Once I went to Spain, everything was fine. I was still gonna go to school. Spain was just a distraction to just make me do something and travel Europe. But then that did not happen because COVID happened. So then I got stuck there, and then I got really stressed because I was like, oh my gosh, now I'm not going to be able to go to school because the airports are not open. I cannot go back home. I cannot go to the US. Like, what is going on? So I had to defer my enrollment to Drexel University. So when you defer your enrollment, that just means you're going to attend the next year instead of the current year. So I was like, okay, I can do that. That doesn't mean I'm not, I can't go. That doesn't mean I'm not accepted. It doesn't mean my spot is given to someone else. I'm just placing it on hold for now, which that made me feel at ease. And then around September, my visa for my tourist Schengen visa was expiring, and my plan wasn't necessarily to stay there forever. I knew I had to go back home to get my visa to study in the US. So cool, went back home to South Africa. It was still during COVID, but when I got back home, I had to book my appointment to get the visa. That was a mission because the visa offices or the offices were not open because of COVID. So now I was like, okay, I don't know what to do at this point because I came all the way from Spain thinking I'm gonna get my stuff, boom, 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 go, boom, but that did not happen. So I was starting to stress out because school starts in January. I'm back home, it's October now. So I've got November, December, I've got 2 months to make sure I get an appointment. And I'm like, wait, what am I going to do? And again, that was an obstacle that came in my way, but I was relentless. Relentless, we will fight. And I started emailing like crazy. Like, I was like, nobody is going to get into my way. Like, this is going to happen. This is what has to happen for me. No one is gonna get in my way, not even COVID. So I was messaging, emailing until I emailed Joburg, I emailed Cape Town, I emailed Durban. Those are the 3 visa offices in the South Africa. I emailed them like I was emailing them every week. I think it took about 3 weeks to get a response because they would always send an automatic response saying we're closed. I was like, no, somebody's gonna open an office for me to go get this visa. So I kept emailing until Durban replied, and they were like, please send us your your documents, your I-20, your passport, everything, and then we'll see. And then we will see if we find you a appointment. And I was like, okay, great, at least they replied. So from here now it should snowball itself. Now it should work out. They sent me a date and a time, and I was like, what? Great. Amazing, love that. It was in Durban. I've never been to Durban to take a visa appointment. I've only been to Joburg. So I was like, fine, I'll go. I flew to Durban, got my visa. I was so nervous. It was like a 10-minute interview because she was grilling me to the T. She wanted to know my exact intentions, where I was going, why I was studying there, like everything. So I felt like because I was honest and I knew that I wasn't lying about anything, I was honest, this is what I wanted, I was genuine with my intent. And I know there are people that are still genuine with their intent and they still don't get their visas, but I felt like I was protected by the Lord Almighty because I got my visa. A week later, hopped on a plane, went to Texas to study at San Antonio College. So when I tell you, those were like the major big obstacles. But once I got to San Antonio, I didn't really have anything figured out. I didn't really have accommodation figured out because I knew people, and I knew I had been messaging, been like, hey, I knew this family. Well, I was like, this family was a friend of my previous host family. So I was like, I know you guys live in Texas, y'all gotta help a sister out. And they were like, cool, we can host you for like a certain time, but not too long because Havana Spacey, they don't have space. They use their home as an Airbnb, so I couldn't obviously stay there. So I had to figure out a plan. But luckily they knew someone, and I stayed with this lady that had this big old house, stayed by herself, had a dog, which that's where TT comes into the picture. And I stayed with her for a year, taking care of TT, going to school. She had an extra car so I could drive to school. So it's like it all worked out in my favor. I mean, I wouldn't recommend someone to do what I did because if you don't have the connections, the networks, the friends, the people, the support, then it's not going to work out because you're gonna end up in the street. When I tell you, this was just a chain reaction of just knowing people and people knowing people, me getting contacting people, and like it just worked out. Okay, so anyways, stayed with that lady for a year. It was fine. Things started getting a little bit awkward because maybe like a couple months after I moved in, another lady moved in and they're all lesbian. I'm the only straight person there. Things started getting messy. People started liking one another, and I was just in the midst of all this mess, and I was like, listen, I don't want any of this drama, okay? It was a lot. Like somebody's daughter, or the lady that moved in's daughter, her son was like, I guess, abusing her. So then she escaped to this house. It was, when I tell you guys, I was like, LeboneM, what did you get yourself into, girl? But I had a roof over my head. I had transportation to go to school, and I had like, you know, yeah. So sad gig going on. So I was good. I was fine. I had no complaints whatsoever. The goal was to just get this associate's degree. So pretty much that's how like everything planned out. And then after that, I moved back to the other couple's house because they weren't doing Airbnb anymore, and because they were traveling a lot, like I was gonna take care of the home basically. It was fine, like everything was okay until it wasn't okay. So, and now I'm glad that I'm approaching my graduation. I'm almost done with my associates. I have to get a campus job, which I've been applying to. I had a job last semester. It didn't pay so great, but girl, a job is a job. Yeah, and now I'm in this process where it's like, okay, do I stay a student and finish my bachelor's degree and transfer to a four-year university? Or do I work? Because I can work on OPT. My visa, my student visa allows me to work for 1 year, and I could like make bank depending on what job I get. It has to be related to psychology, which is my major. But I'm like, I could get a good job, you know, save up money, and then go back to school afterwards. But at the same time, what if I like working? What if I like that dynamic of, you know, having my own money, having lots of money? You know, I'm in a process of like trying to get a car. Like, what if though that I just feel like I don't need to complete my bachelor's, because there are a lot of people that, one, didn't go to college and are successful, two, people that got associate's degree and are pretty doing a good living for themselves, or three, get this bachelor's degree, but I would have to continue going to school, because if I get this bachelor's degree, I gotta get my master's degree, and after my master's, I gotta get my PhD, because we're trying to be a clinical psychologist over here, okay? If not a clinical psychologist, an occupational therapist. So that is the journey. That is like it. When I look back, I'm like, I'm crazy. But at the same time, I had a plan, I had a vision, and nobody can understand your vision. Like, your vision and your dream is yours alone to understand. That is all that you need. You need yourself to believe in it, and that is all. Now, I would explain to my grandmother, like, listen, I know people, I've made all these connections while I was an au pair, so don't worry about me, I got me. And as much as, you know, like, it has never gotten to the point where I was homeless. Like, I've never gotten to the point where I didn't have a roof over my head, I didn't have food in my stomach. Like, I was always, wherever I was safe. Whichever people I was with, whether they were crazy or crazy, I was fine. Yeah, and now I just, that's the thing. Right now I'm in a position where I'm like, I don't know where to take my next moves or what steps to take, because I had one vision, and that vision was to attend San Antonio College. And now it's like, what's the next step? Like, is the next step just to stay in the US? Or is the next step to actually finish what you came here for, and that is get educated to the highest level? If that means PhD, if that means master's, if that means bachelor's, but also that is dependent on how much money a school gives me. And so far I've been accepted to one school, and they gave me great financial aid, a presidential scholarship, Alamo College's scholarships, which is, for attending San Antonio College, I get a scholarship, and I got an honor society scholarship. So it's like, I have great financial aid, but it's also that thing, yeah, oh, like, chelete, you know, there's still, like, I'm gonna still need chelete to survive. I'm still gonna need, you know, all of that stuff. It's an offer I cannot deny. Do you know what I mean? I cannot deny it, because it is such a great offer, and I'd be stupid to deny that. So we'll see. I mean, that's the first school. I could apply to jobs and see what offers I can get out there, but I'm very stuck on completing my education. I feel like that is my primary #1 goal, and that is what I have to do. So, but other than that, my advice, my tips, what I would say is, guys, follow your own journey, follow your own vision, dream. What am I saying? Wait. What I would say is the steps to get you to that point. Start working on those steps. If you want to be a fitness trainer, you have to first, you yourself, be fit. You have to train your body, yourself, your mind to be disciplined and fit and work out every single day in order to help other people in the long run lose weight. So it's like you have to take chunks, you know, small little chunks. Take the SATs, take your GED, do whatever you need to do, save money to get to the next point. It's like chunk, 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 chunk. You can't just all at one time try to do something, because that's when it's not gonna work out. I'm the kind of person that I plan way ahead of time. When I tell you I plan way ahead of time, way ahead of time, I have plan A, B, C, D, and E in the works, because I want to save myself. That is the most important thing, and that is why I feel like I've just been protected in this whole journey, because I have connections, contacts, people that if this person doesn't work out, then I have this person, and if this doesn't work out, then I have this person. And my people, my connections, my networks are people that are reliable, people that literally, if I need anything, they will be there to help. So this is not a one man's thing. Unfortunately, you're gonna need a village of people, a circle of friends, whatever we want to call them, but it is attainable. It is attainable, and I'm gonna look back to this journey and be like, oh my freaking gosh, I was crazy doing this, but I did it. I did it, and I'm proud of myself. I am almost there, and I just need to keep pushing, working hard, keep showing up for myself, because I cannot depend. And I know this is so contradictory, but anyways, yes. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that clarifies a bit of my journey and how I became a student in the US. And if you want tips, advice, you want to sit down with me, I'll attach a link down below where you can book a session with me. Sessions are $10, and I basically help you or guide you in the right direction on what you need to do, because of course I'm a living resource. I've got all these resources, babes. But also you can go on Google. Google is your best friend too. But other than that, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Tell me why I get this feeling that you ain't wanna turn me on. Tell me why I get this feeling.